thunderstorm. That's how the crowd when sun perform. It's a new solar system like a sun is born, and we get animated like the guns is drawn. Loud as a thunderstorm. That's how the crowd when sun perform. It's a new solar system like a sun is born, and we get loud as a thunderstorm.
It's funny, when we met up to do this project, that was the first thing we sat down. He's like, hey, I got these songs, want to do this collabo with you, and I was like, that's dope, but here's the way it's gonna make it easier for me. I need all the parts to all these tracks. And he's like, oh shit, okay. And that was like a separate mission that he had to go on to hit up all his crew, and that's just even internally.
So at the most, I'm thinking, and I'm gonna have some cutting and scratching. And that's revolutionary in today's age.
Right.
And I'm talking about with Z-Trail. I'm like, but then he was like, no, it's gonna be cutting and scratching, but I also need Dr. But now these songs are not songs that were on my album. These are songs that I don't control. But when I was making mixtape songs, I was just thinking, get the song done. I wasn't thinking
so you
parts.
Have to go back and
I wasn't thinking I'm gonna need a clean, an instrumental, acapella. I wasn't thinking that. I was dealing with get the song done.
When we sat down, you were like, I want it to be something you can put on and listen to and have it go from here to there. I was like, then the only way to do that is I need all the pieces so I can string it together the right way. So, getting to the money, that track was like, that was one of the first ones I went in on because I had the pieces to it. I was like, boom, let me throw the paid in full thing on, money, reference, whatever. And my thing is, as a DJ, the art to me is within, how does this guy get from here to here and make it dope? Like, it's weird, I listen to mixes for where they're mixing more than I listen to the track. I'll go back and listen to the track on the next listen. But I'm listening to the art of how it's put together because I want to, I'm an architect like that. I want to see where you look at the blueprint of the house, I'm like, oh, the bathroom's over there and the electrical outlet's over here. That makes sense. I like that. It's great. It makes me think I can do it this way.
I was like, you know what? I can find someone, try to find someone who's just as passionate about it, who is prolific enough to whereas me adding to the project really helps out. It's not just like saying I have this DJ, but like they're gonna be out there talking about it too. I was like, I could go through the trouble, or I could just I'm an artist with a certain following. I could just do it myself. I was on the verge of doing it myself, and then I was just like, no. But then it's just gonna be like every other mixtape.
Right.
And then I talked to Z-Trip last year about trying to do something for Christmas.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how you guys.
Yeah.
Like, what made you guys connect to make it?
Really, we met in Australia.
Yeah.
Last year?
Was it recent? 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It was 10 years ago. On tour with James Brown.
That's right.
Supernatural and Bahamas.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that was a major tour. Yeah, that's when everybody was out there, and that's when we met for the first time, and then we would bump into each other at a couple shows here and there, and I remember you had mentioned something about the Obama mix I did that caught your ear, and you were like, hey, it's kind of dope how we put it together. But that whole concept was me trying to really push the art of the mixtape and the tapestry of putting things together and really trying to make a message. But when he reached out, I was like, yeah, let's do this, because I knew that he would get it. It's not like I gotta, explain it. You got some of those mixtapes that you would have downloaded on those
last
sites.
week I forgot of this.
Yeah. You get them and you're like, oh, that's cool, but there's this. You just remember the songs, you don't remember the mix, and the mix is the thing that to me I always want to put up there. So it's like I put the time and energy into it. I know he'll deliver the same, so when we put it out there, it's gonna stand on its own 2 feet, and good always rises to the top, and that to me is a mix that. You put in the work, doing like the REM thing where it's like, I took the track and then I was like, oh, I think I got the REM parts.
That REM,
somewhere.
What is that, acapella or?
I found, I got my hands in all these different acapella pies, you know what I mean? So like, I found all these parts and whatever, I found it, and I was like, how do I keep this thing still going? And it was in the same key as Getting to the Money, so it was like, all right, this is gonna be in key, but one's faster, one's slower, so I had to figure out how to sort of get it down, but if you listen to it, it slows down just the right amount of way and goes right into the next track. And that was like, when I came up with that one,
starting with the acapella for
I was like, oh, this is perfect, man. This is the art of putting it together, where you hear it and you're like, oh, that just feels right, feels good.
I knew I had the song with Das Racist, and I felt like, I was like, a good DJ would be able to find, like, put the bars thing together. And then I had the REM thing, and that's what I started thinking about you for this mixtape, because I was like, it's a bunch of different music styles.
Right.
So I need a DJ who knows that music. And it was interesting to me, is the first conversation we had was about dubstep.
Right.
And about different musical styles. And I realized that you couldn't have been playing, like, that was a realization to me. I'm like, oh, this guy is not playing the same sets that he's playing 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
the girl.
Right, where Z-Trip is going is like a whole different world of music and DJing that I didn't even take into account when I asked you to do it until you started bringing up these other ideas. Because I think if it was just me it would have still sounded a little like I have newer artists, but I think the mixing and wanting to do some newer records, like some of the things we did, really made it more contemporary.
Yeah, it definitely pushed boundaries. As a fan, I wanted to hear you rap over some dubstep stuff, because to me, those tempos are perfect for anybody who spits double time, and they're good.
And it was great is that the movie that I named the mixtape after, the soundtrack is all dubstep.
Is it?
For Attack the Block, when you watch that movie, it's all dubstep through the movie. I seen a dubstep DJ recently, and what I realized that I had because I watched the whole set. It was like an hour and a half set. I had never done that. I watched the whole set.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is like I've been eliminated. Like it's eliminated the MC, because what I realized watching that set was there's certain sounds or frequencies that these kids respond to as if an MC was telling them something.
Right.
Throw your hands in the air, and they're all like,
Right.
and they all know when to have the hula hoops, and it was very much like regimented. It was regimented without there needed to be MC, and every once in a while he may have needed the MC. What he would do is cut in like a dubstep record that had a Lil Jon vocal on it.
Something right.
Snap your fingers and throw your hands.
I'll tell you why that is from a DJ perspective. There became this disconnect as the MC started to move out forward. The DJ got pushed in the back. You remember when it used to be?
That's what happened with me in High Tech. That's why I ended up going on the road, and he started falling back from the road because it was really all about me.
Right. But it goes even further back to like when it used to be, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. It used to be Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Then it turned into Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock. It just happened, and nobody, just all of a sudden the DJ got pushed to the back. So in a sense, we were riding shotgun for a while to what you guys were doing, but at the same time we're like, all right, we're gonna go over and do this party where no MCs are gonna be there. We gotta stand on our own 2 feet. So we became our own MCs, or went back to being our own MCs, or whatever it was. But we just had to replace it, because the other thing too is, and this isn't every MC, but most. I like MCs like you who actually pay attention and interact and know how to work a crowd, because you did it from doing parties. Some of these people came up never doing parties. My style is knowing how to rock the crowd. You get an MC in there, you're taking a little bit of the stress off me. I can with my a little bit more, and we can bounce back and have fun with it. I saw one of the comments the other day where it's like, I never thought I'd hear Talib Kweli rapping over a lofa track.
For a mixtape, I'll go to a party, I'll throw it in my set to make the party live. I'm not going to be putting out a dubstep album.
Oh no, definitely not. So it's like, but the fact that you flirt with it enough would allow you to even maybe get a track. It would also even maybe allow you to get a track that might be a collabo, like Skrillex did with Damian Marley. Not tuned to crack him. You get a song like that on your record. It's like, now here's me. I was it for a little bit, and I found the right concoction, so I'm gonna sell it to you the right way. Versus you just, oh, that's hot, let me put it on. Because you do that, people are gonna on you.
Right.
You do it the right way, people are gonna be like, all right, man, I'm with you. Young kids are gonna be like, yeah, who's this Talib Kweli? I like this guy.
That's exactly right. That's one of the most difficult things. Like albums.
Oh, of course.
Albums is like that's my acapella is just your thing. Albums is my thing. I don't have big huge hit singles. I got one. Maybe two if you count Hot Thing, maybe. Right. But people respect the albums. It's like so that's really my thing, and that's really been the focus for me is like, well, how does the album be so cohesive? Like I'd almost have to do a whole dubstep project to make it work for the brand, and it's kind of my fault because it's like I've done 10 projects that are in this vein of music. It's like if Gangstar, if Rest in Peace, if Google was still alive, and he jumped on
albums.
Huh?
You keep making classic albums.
Like who else? Like who else besides Gangstar did the same album over and over again and it was still dope?
Yeah.
They're the exception to the rule.
Very few.
It doesn't happen.
But I do think that you have the ability, because of what you do and because you're open-minded, when you do those records that are the off the cuff, off the album, you're now entitling yourself to throw one or two into the next records you do, because your repertoire is getting bigger and you're reaching out to this fringe. I find that you're slowly doing that on the where you can, and to me that's big steps, man, because it's the same thing as a DJ. If I'm going in to play a thing, I used to go in and I play these clubs, these hip hop clubs, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw in Black Sabbath and see what happens. I might clear the floor. The next song will be Big Daddy Kane. Everyone will come back in. It's great. But I did it just because I wanted to be able to make it big enough so I could do that on the regular. Both of us have built a nice fan base for ourselves that we have a choir now. We got it, and it's good. But how do we keep filling them in? It's like, and without being corny. When you did the Eleanor Rigby, I still bang that tune wherever I can because it's a great bridge, man. It's like if I'm doing some sort of hip hop thing and I want to sidestep, I'll throw the Beatles on and be like, oh, everyone's the Beatles. Then you come in there like, oh, what the f-? And then you can take me somewhere else, but you were the vehicle to do that, you know. And I probably played that tune because it served me a purpose more than some of the other tunes that I like of yours that I wouldn't necessarily be able to play in a club.
I mean, no,
vibe,
that song never got officially released.
Right,
it came out on the internet when my album was leaked.
Sure.
And it's a song that I still perform in my set to this day.
Sure.
And it's one of my favorite songs that I've ever done.
Sure.
Yeah.
But those to me, it's like finding that I think more MCs and DJs could pay attention to what we're sort of honing in on, which is that. Like this is the thing that's unpredictable. If I see, you know, some new kid coming up, it's the same deal. It's like I might have heard your whole first album and your mixtape, whatever you got out there. I want to see what, you know, throw me the curveball in your set. Throw me the curveball where I didn't expect to hear this or see this. I like seeing that. I think, and more people are open to that because, like I said, everyone's plugged in. Everyone's got all, you know, the minute it's out, it's downloaded, and it's old in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So it's sus up because you got to stay, you know, on it. You got to stay on the grind, banging out new, which is tough because, you know, you got to factor in sleep, time with loved ones, and all that shit. But that's what people, what they want, you know. And if you don't do it, some new kid's gonna come up and do it. So you got to stay on the grind. It's crazy.
Blow the horns on him, my sun is out, it's a brand new day and it just dawned on him. We smoking, it got him floating just like the salt water. He break us fast, we gotta cook it just like a short order. Don't feed the hands when the birds cover the cheetah print. The jungle out there in the jail, it's a zoo to keep us in.